is from the Firefighting Division, Mr. Chen. To Mr. Guo's left-hand side is from Public Relations General Superintendent Mr. Xie. To Mr. Xie's left-hand side is also from the Public Relations Senior Superintendent Mr. Jiang. To the far left-hand side is from the Family and Sexual Harassment Crime Unit, Miss Jiang. We shall listen to their briefing first, then there will be a Q&A session. Please raise your hand and introduce yourself before you're allowed to ask 3 questions at maximum. And then please handle the microphone back to us. Good afternoon. Welcome to today's press briefing. We shall explain the appeal result of tomorrow's public activity and our past experiences in handling school bullying and sexual crimes. Today we've invited Deputy Commander of the Firefighting Unit, Mr. Chen, to share with us the violent acts of the rioters and the influences they've caused to the emergency services, and how they misuse the firefighting facilities and what weapons we found at different venues. Earlier on, an organizer informed us that tomorrow there will be a public rally and procession in Middle and West region in Hong Kong, based on the protection of others' safety and freedom. We sent out the letter of objection, and we've banned the public rally for tomorrow's rally. However, the organizer appealed to the appeal board, but the appeal board made a decision to sustain the police decision, which means the Charter Park public rally and the procession to the Hong Kong liaison office of the central government's activity is banned. The police has been respecting the freedom and peaceful demonstration. In the past years, more than 90% of the public rally were given letter of non-objection. However, based on the past few months, we must try our best to protect personal safety and property. After careful deliberations, we sent out the letter of objection. The appeal board also objected the appeal by the organizer. Yesterday, I mentioned our intelligence told us that some radical protesters will take chance to conduct extremely dangerous and violent acts tomorrow, and that will hinder others' personal safety, including police, journalists. Their personal safety and property will be damaged. We've witnessed that some rioters use lethal weapon. Please take a look at the screen at my right-hand side. These lethal weapons include petrol bombs, erosive liquids, and smoke pie, and the self-made guns to assault police. From reliable source, we are informed that they will use arch, electricity gun, and flash gun to cause smoke explosion. And they even use UAV to assault those who are on the ground. These are extremely dangerous which can cause significant injuries and even death. In order to prevent such things from happening, we shall exercise appropriate force. And in the chaos, all who are involved might be influenced. So I appeal to you not stay in the dangerous venues. So journalists, during work, please pay attention to your own personal safety. The police reiterate that the appeal board has already refused the appeal by the organizer of tomorrow's public rally and procession. Anyone who participated in that activity might be charged for crime and imprisoned for 5 years maximum. Please cut ties with the violent rioters and go away from the violent venues to protect your own safety. Police will step in time to bring those culprits back to justice. Today, on the internet, somebody said, tomorrow I won't go to the public rally, but I'll go to Causeway Bay to go shopping or to buy some flowers in Waiyun, or I'll participate in some religious procession which does not require an application in advance. About the religious rally and procession, I would like to say, if it's a procession, that application must be made. Notice should be given to the police. If it's a rally, only assembly, then police does not have to be notified in advance. The police will enforce law and judge from the situation to see how to enforce the law. But that's not the most important thing that I want to say to you today. But what I want to deliver is that please do not tamper with law. Tomorrow, please pay attention to information from different media platforms. I appeal to members of public again that leave the dangerous venues to protect your own safety. Mr. Xie, over to you. Our arrest numbers and operations yesterday around 10:30 p.m. Around 40 protesters gathered around the Satin police station. They cried out and used laser beams to shoot at the police station. Then the police gave warnings and arrested one male aged at 20, charged with the crime of possession of offensive weapon. And another suspect was brought to Kowloon City Court for a court session. And there was another public rally at the front of the Shamsui police station. The police did disposal and dispersed 14 and arrested persons ages between 13 to 21, charged with the crime of unlawful assembly, possession of lethal weapons, and unable to present ID cards. At around 12 a.m. this morning, when the Special Force of New Territories tried to get back to the police station, and they were assaulted by laser guns. They arrested 2 persons, 1 male and 1 female, charged with the crime of assaulting police and possession of offensive weapons. However, they were allowed a bail. At later stage of September, they should come back to report to the police. We've made several arrests from June. From yesterday to today, we've arrested 7 more people. One encircled the police headquarters on June the 21st. They incited others to participate the unlawful assembly, organize unlawful assembly, and participate in unlawful assembly. June the 1st, the Legislative Council vandalism, we arrested 2 females charged with vandalism and unlawfully broke into the Legislative Council. June the 13th, Shangshui, unlawful assembly, we've arrested 1 man aged 28, and we've also arrested a man aged 32, charged with a crime of assaulting police. July the 21st, we've also arrested a suspect for an unlawful assembly on July 21st. We hold zero tolerance towards all the culprits, and we have sufficient evidence. In yesterday's operations, no police officer sustained injuries, and the police did not fire any bullets and use any weapons. Now over to Mr. Chen from the firefighting units. According to the performance commitment for 999 emergency calls, Hong Kong Island and Kowloon's average response time is 9 minutes, New Territory 15 minutes. The calculation of the response time is from the time we pick up the phone and the police who arrive at the venue. In June, there were 188 emergency calls which did not meet the time frame. From August to yesterday, there were 320 cases, emergency calls, which did not meet the time frame. The police are still making our utmost efforts. But in the past, there were climbing numbers of the unsatisfying emergency call responses. Yesterday, the same period of time, only 204, so 5% of increase. We pay close attention to that. Those emergency calls happened during Saturday, Sunday, and public holidays. We believe the reason why we did not meet the time frame was very significant, because even 1 minute late would cause huge circumstances to those who made the call. Police has already become the target of the violent rioters. The rioters besieged police stations many times. 20 police stations, 131 police vehicles were vandalized. Over to you, Mr. Chen, for firefighting numbers. Friends from media, good afternoon. For the demonstrations, the firefighting unit has made some observations. In the recent processions and demonstrations, the protesters in different districts of Hong Kong occupy roads, and they use this flash style of traffic blockage, which damage the emergency services that we provide. The firefighting unit must reiterate that our time is pressing. Every second is key to us. Any delay might cause a small fire becoming lethal accident, and those whose life is in danger might not be rescued. And we also found that the protesters hurled petrol bombs, smoke, tear at police, even arson. They even did arson, and journalists and bystanders were influenced. These acts were extremely irresponsible and reckless. If the fire was caught by peripheral buildings, then more lives would be taken. The firefighting unit has taken note of this, and we worry a lot. The firefighting unit also noticed that in recent demonstrations, some protesters remove firefighting facilities, including the fire hose, for their own purposes. These firefighting facilities and equipments are for the prevention of fire and to fight the fire. So if they're removed, then the risk of fire would be escalated. Then persons' life safety and property could not be guaranteed. And the carbon dioxide, if targeted at others, might cause personal safety damage as well. So we appeal that all should stop doing such things. Other residents, please stay away from dangerous venue. Do not be bystanders and pay attention to your own safety. Thank you. About school bullying. The police is closely following up the social conflicts, and that has very bad influence on the school sentiments and school environment, and that might cause school bullying arising from different opinions. Criminal offenses including physical damage, criminal threatening, intimidation, all of these are severe crimes. The police has taken notice that some online information were the intimidation targeting at the police family members. The police would like to reiterate that we hold zero tolerance on these acts. The police has effective mechanism to work with the school to prevent bullying. We have 117 coordination officers with schools. We encourage school and parents, if you have noticed any bad sentiments and negative emotions by your children, then please coordinate and report to the school. Then the school coordination officer will notify us. In emergency cases, the police also appealed to the parents and the school to call 999 for support. The online bullying and school bullying are targeted at police family members, and the photos you're seeing now are from the internet. They are the bullying targets. They are called as dogs or very dirty words. They call these very dirty words at the police family members. The police already has a mechanism with the administration of education, so you could report your grievances to the school or to the police to prevent the escalation of the incidents. At last, the police will have even closer ties to coordinate with schools. Now, about police historical record in dealing with sexual crimes. A female victim, a female called us and reported to us that she was sexually harassed during the detention. We must clarify that we have stringent procedure to protect detainees. We hold prudence and very carefully protect detainees' rights. We arrange same-gender police to conduct frisk, to investigate, to record the evidences. On the first instance, by the police to the detainees, we also inform them of the crisis treatment services. We also allowed sexual crime victims to have a company person to go through the entire process. And we also have a specialized sexual crime investigation unit according to Article 79-1-2. The court accepts recording and audio recording and as the evidences, so to bring down the pressure of the sexual crime victims' pressure to appear on the court. The court even allows televising or the covering of their face. At last, the police would like to reiterate that our current law and regulation provide sufficient protection on the sexual crime victims, and anyone who has been hurt sexually, and please report to us immediately. In general, public rally and procession appeal board has already refuted the appeal by the organizer of tomorrow's activity. The organizer already informed that they have canceled tomorrow's rally. So once again, I would like to say if you participate in tomorrow's activity, there's a possibility that you would be charged with relevant crimes. Please cut ties with rioters, stay away from violence, and protect yours and others' safety.
I'm Regional Commander of Hong Kong Island Region, Patrick Kwok. Now I will do a summary in English. The police prohibited public meeting and objected to public processions proposed to be held tomorrow, that is 31st of August. The organizer filed an appeal, but the appeal board on public meeting and processions rejected it and upheld our decisions this morning. We are pleased with and respect the ruling. I must emphasize our objection is in the interest of public safety and public order, as well as protections of rights and freedom of others. We respect citizens' right to assembly and freedom of expression. Police are also duty-bound to preserve public peace and protect life and property. To prevent potential public danger arising from this proposed public event, we make these deliberate decisions. The organizer has stated earlier today that they would cancel the public meeting and procession. We appeal to all members of the public not to participate in any unauthorized public events tomorrow. Since the appeal board has upheld police decisions to ban the proposed public gathering, participating in an unauthorized assembly is an offense under Sections 18 of Public Order Ordinance, Chapter 245 of the Hong Kong laws. The maximum penalty is 5 years imprisonment. We are also aware that some online comments that promote a so-called stroll in Causeway Bay or a visit to the Victoria Park to appreciate flowers or even to do a rally in the name of religion. Some even call for this free moving around in the designated area. No matter what excuses these people use, police will enforce the law impartially. We will take into considerations of the actual situations and to take whether immediate interventions, timely enforcement, or pro-event enforcement. We strongly appeal to members of the public to refrain from taking part in any unauthorized gathering. And about arrest figures, now I will give you a brief update on the arrest figures. In a disorderly incident in Sam Shui Po last night, police arrested 18 people aged between 13 to 41, consisting of 14 males and 4 females. Their offenses include unlawful assembly, possessions of offensive weapons, and criminal damage. And in another incident in Sha Tin last night, we arrested one 21-year-old male for possession of offensive weapon. In the small hours today in Kwun Tong, 1 male and 1 female were arrested for pointing laser beams at police officers. As for further arrests made for previous offenses, 7 more people were arrested since last night. In conclusion, I have made it very clearly that participating in an unauthorized assembly is an offense under the Hong Kong laws. We appeal to all members of the public to refrain from all unlawful acts or breach of the peace. We also hope you will make a clear break with all acts of violence and stay away from locations where violent clashes may take place. Thank you.
好，問題時間，每位最